What's up everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm covering 10 things I'm no longer buying in 2025. With the new year just 2 months away, it's time to reset, refocus, and really get intentional about my spending habits. So if any of these items resonate with you, feel free to leave a comment down below and let's just get started. Okay, starting at number 1, I have to talk about acrylic nails. Now, I used to be a person that never really got my nails done. I would just get them done for special occasions. But this year I decided, you know what, I want to switch it up. I want to get my nails done regularly. But in doing that, I would go to the nail salon about twice a month, and that cost would really add up. If you don't know, when you go to like a salon, if you want like a full set, that can be like around $45 to $50. Sometimes even more if you're going to like a private person. It was a great experience. It was kind of therapeutic for me, but it was so expensive. I've spent so much money this year just getting my nails done. And yes, they can make you look put together. They're kind of like the icing on the cake of an outfit. Deciding just to stick with kind of like my natural nails. I feel like as long as they're groomed and they're clean and the nails are shortened, that you should be all set. Number 2 on my no spend list is expensive makeup. Now, I'm gonna be honest, purchasing makeup every now and then is not so much of an issue, but if you're like me and still consider yourself a beginner to makeup, then you might not want to buy the most expensive brand on the shelf. I find that when I go into stores like Ulta or Sephora, I get so excited. Like, I wonder if it's just the lighting or just the wide range of options that you have, but it makes me want to just stay there and buy everything. Most of the time, you don't really need what they have on the shelf, you just want it. So I would fall into the trap of buying a super expensive foundation and concealer, thinking that the more expensive the foundation or concealer is, the better quality is. And that's just not necessarily the case. You can get a least expensive item. It really is about your technique and the application you're using as opposed to the actual item. Now, I will say there is a small caveat to that, in that when you are purchasing more affordable items, sometimes they don't have the best ingredients for your skin. So if you have very sensitive skin, then just make sure you're double checking what's in the bottles that you're using. I know that I do struggle with breakouts, so it is kind of hard and a delicate balance of buying things that are good for your skin, but that also won't break your wallet. Number 3 on my list is body products. Now, I love a good body cream, lotion, scrub. I love to smell good, and I think that some of them kind of have like therapeutic properties. They help me feel calm and relaxed, but they can add up. So I did my own project pan and just kind of went through and made sure that, number 1, there are products that aren't going to break me out and that I'm just using what I already have. I have so many items that I have yet to get to, and they're items that I actually love. So rather than going out to the store to buy something new or buy the latest trend, I'm just gonna use what I have and go from there. Now, I was really thinking about gatekeeping this item, but it's so good. Like, I have to put someone on. So this is the Coco Shea Honey Fragrance Body Butter from Bath & Body Works. I think you can see it. But this body butter is so good. So I kind of like racked up on these, and I plan to just use all of these products that I have first. But if you want something that's very nourishing for your skin and has a fragrance but that's light scented and like you're not gonna get a headache from using it, then I would highly recommend this body butter. It also comes in a lotion form and a spray form that I use. And believe it or not, when I wear this, I get more compliments versus when I wear more expensive perfume. All right, number 4 on my list is hair products. Now, I love doing my curly hair routine. I love that I've developed a new passion and love for taking care of my curls and taking care of my hair. However, you can quickly fall into the trap of buying new hair products because you think that they're gonna work better. Trust me when I say this, it's more important to establish a technique for your hair than it is to purchase products. 9 times out of 10, if you're struggling with getting the correct curl pattern, then maybe you wanna try something new. Maybe you wanna do a finger coil, or you want to try a brush or a comb, or maybe just use your fingers and rake your fingers through your hair. You don't necessarily always have to go out and buy a new mousse or a new cream or just a new gel. Just stick with what you have, utilize that, and then go from there. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that you won't know what works for you if you don't use that product for an extended amount of time. It kind of like irritates me when I see, either someone else or myself just go through products rapidly. Like 1 minute you're using this 1 week, week and then you're using something else the other week. How are you supposed to know what actually works if you don't do a trial run? So this is my gigantic container of hair products, and I have a bunch of foams, I have a bunch of creams, I have some gel in there. I love my design essentials, but like, look at this. This is pretty much full and I haven't used it. I have so much mousse. Like, I purchased this when I really didn't need to, but I was like, you know what? It's the mini, so I need it. Like, no, I didn't need it. And then I ended up not liking it. It wasn't cheap. I know this was an item, this Camilla Rose Curl Maker Gel. I saw kind of trending online, so I decided to purchase it, and I barely used it. You know, it's all about being smart and intentional with your choices. All right, number 5 on this list is clothes. Now, I love to buy a good fashion item, and I recently developed this new sense of fashion now that I'm just getting older and I want to look more put together both in my personal and my professional life. I do believe that you're not what you wear, but what you wear can impact how others perceive you and can impact the opportunities that are presented to you. With that being said, I've been doing kind of like a closet reset, rid of any clothes that I do not wear and kind of buying things that match my aesthetic now. In doing that, you can spend a lot of money in the process. If you want something that's high quality, you're gonna end up spending money. I am kind of putting a freeze on this for the rest of the year because we're entering into winter months, so that sweater, hoodie, boot season, you're not so much worried about how you look unless you're like a true fashionista. You're more so worried about comfort and staying warm. So why am I going to spend all this money on buying this exclusive wardrobe when most of the time I'm either going to be at home or I'm going to be at work? For now, I'm just going to stick with what's in my closet. And if I do buy something, making sure that it is affordable and within my budget. It's a little controversial, but I am not going to be buying any more athletic wear for the rest of the year. I know. From the views on my videos, you guys love my Able hauls. And trust me, I am an Able girly down to the socks. But trust me when I say Able is expensive. And if you do not have the money, you do not need to be spending money on Able activewear unless there's a sale. But even then, just use what you have. If you need an activewear set, go to Amazon, purchase it from there. And then when you build up your savings a little bit more, then gift yourself with an Able sweatsuit or an Able leggings or top. Trust me when I say Able's not going anywhere. Able's leggings run anywhere from like $50 to $60 per legging. So that means if you want 3 pairs of leggings, you can kind of spend close to $160 to $180 just for 3 pairs of leggings, versus you can go to Target and get, maybe 3 sets for that. Although Target's activewear can be a little expensive. But my point is, if you're serious about, just staying fit and all of that, maybe get 2 nice sets and call it a day, or don't purchase it at all. Go on Amazon, see if there's any dupes for it. I am not one of those people that's gonna be like, no, don't spend your money, you don't need it at all. I'm not like that. I feel like you do need items that make you feel good. And if that's activewear, then that's activewear. But, be conscious of how much money you're spending. And if you already have a closet or a dresser full of it, you don't need to buy anymore. All right, number 7 on this list is seasonal decor. Now we are entering into holiday season. Thanksgiving, that is Christmas, that is New Year's. You think that you need the colorful curtains, stocking, a new tree. It can really get you caught up and you can spend so much money. Everyone talks kind of like about how it feels to buy an item, but rarely do people talk about buyer's remorse and how it feels those months after the holiday season. Like, it's real. Like, your finances will come back to haunt you. It's important to just be conscious of what you're spending this holiday season, and to also be intentional about going through bins and going through your closets to see what you already have. Number 8 is office supplies. Now, this might not apply to a lot of people, but if you have your own office at work, you might fall into the trap of wanting to make your office the most decorative or the most amazing thing. I kind of fell into that a little bit and started to buy, random gadgets on Amazon and all of that, but I'm really not going to buy anything else for my office. I feel like you should just make use of what the company company has available to you. So that can be a workroom with supplies that you can use, as long as they're like community and you're not, taking someone else's stuff. I know that's kind of like a random one, but I'm just thinking like personally about my finances and kind of what I spent a lot of useless money on. And I would say it was kind of like things for my office. Now, number 9 on my list is eating out. I am a huge foodie. I love to eat. I love to try new foods. I don't know, just food makes me happy, but food can add up and can be very expensive. And one thing about foodies is that we don't just like to eat anything. Like, I like good food. I like food that tastes intentional. This cook spent time or possibly even studied in France and Italy or whatever. And it depends. Like, sometimes you can get good food that doesn't cost a lot of money, but I've been to restaurants where the food is amazing and you're gonna spend more than you would at like a Chick-fil-A or at like your pizza shop down the street. If you spend money on lunch, for example, every single day, the average meal at lunch, let's say, is $20. 20 times 5, that's about $100 you're spending a week on just eating lunch. Just want to be conscious of that as well. Make sure that you're budgeting for groceries, because that $20 that you use to buy, wings and a salad for lunch, you could have used to buy a carton of milk, eggs, and maybe bread, and like a protein that you could use. This is probably the hardest thing for me when saving money, because not only do you have to buy the food, you also have to cook it and you have to prep it, and you have to do that within a certain amount of time so the food doesn't spoil, on top of having a 9-to-5 job, on top of having hobbies and trying to do fun things with your life. So it's a lot, but you can do it. Just make sure that you're being intentional. If I had to rank the list, and I know I said it wasn't in any particular order, eating out would be definitely the top of my list, so I gotta cut that out immediately. And last item on my list is technology. Now, I love tech. I feel like, what's that lady's name? I think her name is like Justine, but her love for tech, no, I'm not even close to that level. I feel like it just makes my life so much easier. It's nothing like getting a new gadget and just exploring all of its uses. Right now, I'm filming on the Osmo Pocket 3, which I love. I have my Sony ZV-1F, and the Osmo Pocket 3 also came with the creator combo, so I have the mic. I also bought headphones, and I have my Beats headphones, and I actually purchased all of these items around the same time last year, so around like that Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's time, because that's when like the sales are happening. But it's really gonna take me self-control to not buy any new gadgets or lighting or anything like that. I can save some money, and because I really don't. And that's pretty much it for this list. Hopefully you have something that resonates with you. I know that saving money can be hard for some people, and it's hard for me because I love to spend money on all the items that I listed in this video. But I know in the long run, it'll be super important for me to just have self-control and the ability to say no. So I encourage all of you to just make your own list and stick to them. Maybe even have an accountability partner who can hold you accountable to not buying certain things. Another person that I kind of listen to is Dave Ramsey. I know he's kind of controversial because he's very, kind of strict with his budget method and his snowball method, but he's a great person you can listen to and kind of get ideas on how to both pay off debt and also how to save money. 2025 is not over yet, so we're going to finish this year strong and we're going to start 2026 even stronger. As always, it's wonderful connecting with all of you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.